Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first Hylo Live series. Today, we have the pleasure of interviewing Lana Chehabeddine, who's the Assistant Programs Manager at Florida Organic Growers. Lana, tell us about you and where are you currently?
Yes. So first of all, I'm so excited to be on the interview today and just talk about, what we're working on. And I'm currently based in Florida, in South Florida, actually close to Miami area. And as the assistant programs manager of Florida Organic Growers, I oversee a few different projects that we work on currently, but I wear many hats. So I also host our podcast that we do called Fresh Take. And I work on several different events that we do, just like bigger things that we work on, like our summit that's coming up in April. So just a lot of great things to educate people about sustainable agriculture.
I love that. Tell us about your community's purpose. Like, what is the purpose of Florida Organic Growers?
So actually, our Florida Local Food Network is what we have, the name of the group that's in Hylo. And that group right now is really it's designed to build new connections among local food actors, such as farmers and entrepreneurs, and strengthen existing relationships. And the emphasis on relationship building is really aimed at achieving our larger goal of increasing access and consumption of locally grown food in our state. And this is part of a bigger USDA funded initiative called the Florida Local Food Project. So Florida Organic Growers was awarded this grant in 2023, and I was hired on as the coordinator for that project. And so it's a 3-year grant that ends in 2025, but this network is one of several key objectives that we are working to achieve in this project as a way of hosting a community and kind of like a one-stop shop for food professionals looking to work together.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that. Wow. Okay. Well, I can't wait to learn more. I'm curious, like first, how did you discover Hylo or what excites you about Hylo?
That's a great question. So we spent many months, actually, my team, trying to discover what platform might serve best for our network. And I have to say, I can't remember, the exact person that, it was that connected me to this platform, but I went through several different kind of like calls and interviews and learning about all these different platforms that existed out there. And when we came across Hylo, someone told me about it that currently works in our, local food system in Florida. And when they told me about it and I looked into it, I was just like, this is it. This is exactly what we were looking for because we really use every single feature of Hylo to advance our purpose. But so many things about Hylo excites me. I love that, first of all, that it was designed with farmers in mind. Um, our organization is a grassroots nonprofit that was started by farmers looking to advance, sustainability and growing practices. So the Hylo platform, it becomes evident when you look at some of the community mobilization features that can actually lead to action, such as, the requests and the offer posts, and just the idea of enabling a more skill sharing network so that people can see who's out there, what they're learning, so that other people might help, what skills they can offer to the group, and just having a network of just like-minded individuals who are willing to support you in building a more justified food system.
Absolutely. I mean, one of my favorite features is also like the asks and offers and like how much exists already within the community, and sometimes just being able to have like a way to share and make that a ask, and for that to be like for the platform to give permission to to do your ask and offer. And so I love hearing that. I'm curious if you have any story or a positive outcome that has come out from of using Hylo that you can share with our community.
Yeah, well, so um, So many things, so many positive things I think have come out of it. You know, one of the biggest things that caught our eye about the platform was the member directory and interactive map. Because we're working with such a large geographic region, um, it was really important for us to have that kind of tool to make sure that people can actually see who's out there, who's growing, who's promoting, who's sourcing, because that's really one of the biggest needs for our group, was to be able to find for other folks to find each other, basically. So you know, it one of the biggest positive outcomes, I think, is allowing people to have more awareness of what's happening in the community. And this comes down to a few different things. Farms and entrepreneurs and restaurants, you know, being able to share what they're doing, their own events, their own projects, having people be able to collaborate and participate in some of those things. Also, we were able to, once we launched this group in January of this year, we started to ask a lot of questions about what people were really looking for. And one of the biggest things that popped up was like more niche interest areas. So we created subgroups for those particular topics, like food recovery, food policy, and even grants. So one thing that just happened recently is one of the young farmers that we know quite well had reached out to let us know he applied to one of the grants that we shared in a group. And those are the kinds of things that make us feel really great, because we know that it's really difficult to access some of this information. A lot of these people that work in this industry are so busy, they're inundated with all the things that they have to do in their day-to-day life, and they don't really have time to sit and Google and research all the different things that might benefit them. So having this kind of network where you can click on, you know, resources, events, and those different groups, it's just like so much easier for you to be able to access all those things, especially if it's, you know, now it's through the app and everything. So there's just a lot that, you know, we've seen people benefit from since we just started in, you know, earlier this year. So almost a year that we've been around. So it's really nice to see all those kinds of changes and people connecting through our networking calls and all sorts of things.
That's amazing. And also I imagine there's a way for the subgroups to interconnect with each other and people can share to specific groups versus the whole global community. So having that flexibility based on the themes and you know, might be valuable. So I love hearing that, especially the knowledge sharing grants. Sometimes we see members like come across opportunities like on Hylo and apply and get grants, and it's oftentimes just like a post that someone made. And so it's really
Yeah.
inspiring to see those positive results and outcomes. So that's wonderful. I'm curious, like what would you say is your biggest need right now as a community, and how can people connect with you for support?
So I think at this time, as a moderator of the group, my biggest need is determining the best route for longevity to sustain the network and the engagement within it. I think I mentioned before, you know, Florida Organic Growers, we oversee a lot of grant projects, and with grants, there's always a timestamp. So that part becomes very challenging in trying to determine how can we continue these efforts, you know, after the grant ends. So right now we're, you know, really trying to work on a longevity plan and understanding how we can really keep this up, keep it going for as long as possible. So, you know, the fact that Hylo is open source and completely free to use has been the biggest advantage for us, because we did not have a budget for a technology platform and didn't want to charge members for a membership. Um, so I'd love to learn from other groups and moderators, you know, who have been around for some time and can share strategies that, you know, have ensured that their network continues to thrive. So I think that's one of the biggest things that I'm looking for. And in terms of being connected to, the best way that I can get connected to is through my email. That's lana@foginfo.org, and also through Hylo if people are already on that platform.
Amazing. I definitely will make sure to link up your website. And one of the things that Hylo is hosting every month is a community call with all the different communities on Hylo, and we share best practices and kind of like how do we sustain groups. So I definitely would love for you to join us maybe next month. We host it once a month, so that's something to be aware of.
Yes.
Lana,
Thank
thank you
you for mentioning
so,
that.
so much. I just love the work you do and your mission, and we're very excited to kick off this Hilo Life series for 2025 with you, and we just wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you on future calls and staying connected. I appreciate it.
Thank you.